Kirsten, welcome to Cyprus. I know I said I was going to be in Bratislava, but I've been through Bratislava and out the other side. It was absolutely wonderful. We went to some brilliant things. I'd recommend an art installation called Space and Mirrors, which is all about mirrors and how they extend space. So there was a wonderful room which was just like the Ministry of Magic with like files going down and down and down, and lots of space galleries, and just like, it's just amazing, brilliant thing. I've already made this video once with Judith, and I then realised that I had absolutely messed up the video and pressed the wrong button, so I'm kind of going a little bit too fast, that's why. But I was going to tell you about Bratislava. We went to Vienna to go to the zoo, and on the Ferris wheel, like in the Third Man, and the zoo's amazing. I think that's now my favourite zoo, beating Amsterdam by a panda, 2 pandas. Panda! I've never seen a panda before. So I'd highly recommend Vienna Zoo. It's quite central, it's quite easy to get to, and yeah, so it's worth checking out if you like zoos at all. Well, there's an excellent, in Bratislava itself again, there's an excellent natural history museum, which we'd highly recommend. Again, it's got like the actual bones. You know how normally museums have replicas in the museum? This has actual bones behind glass so you can see them. It's just awe-inspiring. Just a mammoth, which is just like a mammoth. Anyway, yeah, so I highly recommend that. And today we are in Cyprus, which has lots of cats, lots of palm trees, blue skies. I'll do a quick video round and put that in a moment. And I want to talk to you about my books, because it's quite a long flight here. It was cloudy the whole way through Serbia and Bulgaria. I saw a little bit of Greece, Turkey, Slovakia on the way here, but there was a lot of clouds as well. So I'm just going to show you the things that I read. I read Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Six of Crows. Loved Six of Crows, which is a classic heist book. This is sort of about how their life comes together after the heists, which, you know, I was a sucker for, and then after that this happened books. So I'd highly recommend it. There's a lot of friendship, a lot of love, a little kissing, and some great family stuff. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. The other thing I finished was Unoiled Lies by Liz Mystery. This is a gritty police procedural, but again it's about family and love and really horrible murders. So if that sounds like your thing, I would start with her first book, Unquiet Soul, which frankly it was horrible. It took me quite a while to kind of get able to pick up another crime novel, because it was so disturbing, but in a good way, in a really, really well written way. The other things I've read have been in the 8 to 12 age range middle grade category, which is why Judith was here with me. This one I read by myself, The Train to Impossible Places. It is about this girl Susie, who goes on an adventure in her pyjamas. That seems to be a trope in middle grade fiction. She meets all these exciting people. That's Susie in the middle, and all the people she met around the outside. There's a lot of trolls in this book. They are friendly trolls on the whole. And she wakes up one night and there's a train going through her hallway, and she's going, why is there a train in my hallway? And she's an inquisitive sort of child, so she jumps on and she goes around, and she loves physics, that's the other thing. She goes around all these impossible places going, that's not how physics works. But then her knowledge of physics saves the day, so you know, it's all good. And it's just a really lovely, I was going to say road trip, train trip, romp through a mystical, magical realms. And if you like magic and fantasy in middle grade books, I'd highly recommend it. Judith absolutely loved it. She's 10. and she found it really funny and she kept laughing out loud and wanted to talk about it, so that's why I have to read it to catch up with her. And the last one is, we've been reading this as a family book. It started out as me and Judith reading it together, and then it started out as, and then it turned into Judith reading it to me, and then somewhere along the way Andreas, who is 7, came and joined us with it, and my partner also popped in. And my partner also popped in for some chapters, and it is brilliant. It's about an explorers club who go on expedition, and they're taking the teenagers to train them up, but the teenagers get separated. Stella, the main character, is a girl, and girls aren't really meant to go on expeditions, so she was meant to be left alone with her aunt, who was very much like, it's time Stella learnt to be a young lady, and instead of reading books, balance them on her head. And her dad does not approve of that at all. He's like, nope, she's coming with me and she's going to learn how to read books and use what's inside them, because I think elegance is overrated and she wants to have a fulfilling life, not just be some rich boy's pet wife. So they go on this exploration. She goes with one of her friends, Beanie, who is adorable. He's really lovely. He's the kind of person you're like, oh, I want a friend like that. This guy's Shay, who is kind of sensible, got his head screwed on, he's thoughtful, and he's really good with wolves. And a really annoying guy who's often right, Ethan. And they find themselves exploring the polar lands by themselves, and it's a really great book, and it's very funny. I found myself laughing. I don't laugh out loud a lot of books, but did find myself laughing out loud at this book a lot. Possibly it helps that Judith's a really gifted reader, and obviously I'm saying that without her sitting next to me, but you know, I do say it to her as well. But also it takes a lot of unexpected twists and turns along the way, and I really loved it. And we are going to move straight on tonight to the second book, which I believe is called Expedition on Witch Mountain, but I'll tell you about that later. And for now, as I say, I'm just going to turn the camera out and show you a little bit of what it looks like. And this is just the view from my hotel room. So there's lots of cats down there and the children complaining about something. And then if we go that way, there's the sea. And now I'm going to go and actually explore some of the archaeology of this brilliant island. So bye!